Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday, Quirky Monday. Happy birthday to us and many more. That was terrifying. Hi friends, welcome to episode 95 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha and you can find me anywhere online as Nadira Tani. Thank you so much for coming to spend some time with me today. I'm coming to you from my home in Central Florida, where right now it's kind of sunny, a little bit cloudy. It's been raining on and off. Today is Tuesday, September 3rd? I think it's the 3rd. Tuesday, September 3rd. And Hurricane Dorian is making its way towards our coast. Like I said, as of right now, it's pretty nice outside. But the hurricanes are coming. The hurricanes are coming. Don't worry, guys. We're safe. We're prepared. We've got our hurricane safety, not necessarily safety kit, but like our hurricane supplies, all gathered together in the kitchen. Yeah, and we're just waiting. And I think that's like the hardest. Well, it's not the hardest part of a hurricane. Hardest part of a hurricane is if the hurricane hits you or decides to sit on top of your location for 24 hours like Dorian sat on top of the Bahamas. So big prayers to the Bahamas. But when you're waiting for the hurricane to come, and the news has just been saying the hurricane is coming for a week straight, and you're just like, is weather anxiety a thing? But anyway, so we've been home, school has been out, so Lamar has been home also, just waiting for the hurricane to make its appearance. But we're good. We're fine. Don't you worry none. What else do I normally say at the beginning of these craftcasts? Well, as you can see, it is our 3rd birthday here at Quirky Monday, our 3rd podiversary. And we did do, I say we, like there's more than one person over here at Quirky Monday. It's just me. It's just me. But I can say we, because we put together a massive giveaway with lots of prizes that were donated by viewers of the podcast, pattern prizes, physical prizes, you know, all kinds of different stuff like that. So last night I closed, I locked the thread, and I drew the giveaway winners, the prize winners. This giveaway started out with 4 prizes. And after I announced that we were doing a 3rd birthday giveaway, a couple other viewers of the Craftcast got in touch with me, so we were able to add 2 more prizes to that prize list. So thank you so much. If you're one of the wonderful people who sent in prizes or offered up patterns, thank you so much for making this my biggest giveaway yet. I feel like, I don't know, like a yarn fairy who's able to just sprinkle some happiness on a couple people here. So let's get into it. I have all of our winners. You can't see nothing on there, but believe me, there are winners here. So we've got 7 winners. The things that were up for grabs, there was a medium-sized Quirky Monday Crafts space bag, 2 copies of the Oh Gnome You Didn't pattern by Imagine Landscapes, a book with yarn. The book was Big Knits, and there were 6 skeins of Lion Brand Jeans yarn with that. There's a weaving kit, and then with the weaving kit there will be an extra second weaving kit that I'm going to put together for this person. Then the 2 extra prizes that were offered up after I made the initial announcement, there was a pattern of your choice, and that was donated by Melinda, who's Yarnder Woman, I think everywhere. But Melinda donated a pattern of your choice up to $7, and then Laurel of the Dabbling Hook donated 1 copy of one of her patterns. So, who won? Let's find out. So, the first winner, who is the, oh, I guess I should say this. In the thread, I asked if you were entering to list the prizes in order, like in the order that you would like them. So as I was pulling, I went for, like, whoever the first number was, I gave them their first choice, second choice, and so on. So the first prize winner is the winner of the Quirky Monday Space Bag, and that goes to number 21, who is Eternity 21. Oh, I didn't notice that before. It's meant to be. Eternity 21, and that's Joyce from West Palm Beach, Florida. So first, I hope that you are safe. I know South Florida and around the coast has been getting a lot more storm surge and everything like that than we have been getting more towards the central Florida area. So I hope that you and your family are safe, Joyce. So you won the medium Quirky Monday bag. I will be making that and getting that out to you. So if you can, send me a message on either, well, send me a message on Ravelry, because that will be easiest, letting me know your mailing information and your full name. The second prize is a copy of Oh Gnome You Didn't, and this one goes to number 20, and that is username Grab57, and that's Bobby from Delaware. So hey, fellow Delawarean. I have sent your username on to Sarah of Imagine Landscapes, so she'll be sending you over a copy of that pattern. The third prize is the second copy of Oh Gnome You Didn't, and that one goes to number 6, who is Sexy Mama. You didn't have your name or location listed on your Ravelry, so, but I did send your username over to Sarah as well, so you should be receiving that pattern. Next is the Big Knits book with the yarn, and that goes to number 75, and that is Ash's Pirate Mom, and that's Dawn from Iowa. So again, with the physical prize, please send me a message on Ravelry. Let me know your full name and your mailing information. I'll get that out as soon as I can. The next prize is the weaving kit, and that goes to number 7, who is Hooks and Halos, and that is Haley from Canada. I also noticed that your birthday is coming up in a couple weeks, so happy early birthday. And for your prize, I will need, of course, a message with your name and your mailing information. But for the extras, like the weaving kit that I put together, in the message that you send me like your favorite colors, so that I can kind of tailor the extras to you. The next is the pattern of choice from Yarnder Woman. That goes to number 56, and that is Knitting Cat Lady 82, and that is Rinska, I think, from the Netherlands. I have sent Melinda an email or a message on Ravelry letting her know that you won and that you will be getting in touch with her. So and I also messaged you, so hopefully you get this message or get that message before you see this. But go ahead, choose your pattern up to $7 US and get in touch with Melinda so she can gift you that pattern. The last prize is a pattern of your choice from the Dabbling Hook. That person or that winner is number 61, and that's Lady M, who is Marshila from Oregon. I did send Laurel an email letting her know that you were the winner and will be getting in touch with her with your pattern choice. So definitely go check out her Ravelry shop and choose your pattern. So thank you to everybody who entered. The prompt was, what's your favorite thing to do like on a rainy day? Because over the last couple episodes I was getting rained on in the middle of the episode, and since we do have this storm coming, it's going to be dumping a whole lot of rain on us more than likely. So I just wanted to know what you guys' favorite rainy day activities were. And of course we got a lot of knitting and crocheting. Of course, I'm not even surprised. There was a whole lot of warm drink consumption, so teas, coffees, hot chocolates, things like that. Snuggling up in blankets, reading a good book, listening to the thunder and the rain, taking a walk in the rain, like all kinds of things like that. So thank you guys so much for being a part of the Quirky Monday universe and for allowing me to be able to do this. Thanks, guys. So with that all taken care of, we do have one other bit of admin, and that is just to let you know that the BIPOC make-along has begun. It started on September 2nd and goes until November 4th, I believe. Really? This is a make-along that is hosted by Elisabeth Desamour of Desamour Designs and the BIPOC Makers Project. I will put a link to the Facebook group where you can post your finished objects and progress and things like that on the patterns that you choose to make for this make-along. The only rules for this make-along is that you choose a pattern that's by a BIPOC designer, and that can be either a knit pattern, a crochet pattern, what have you, and you complete that. There are weekly prize drawings, so as you finish your projects, definitely post them in either the Facebook group or on Instagram by using hashtag BIPOCMAL 2019, which will be along the bottom of the screen. And yeah, definitely join in. This is a really nice way of getting more eyes and hands on these different patterns and kind of signal boosting these different designers, which I think is really awesome. I will put some links down below of different lists that I've come across that I like to use for finding other designers of color. And yeah, of course, none of the lists are exhaustive. You know, they're just kind of use them as a springboard into finding potential designers that you haven't maybe seen before or done patterns from before. Okay, so let's get into the crafty bits. As you can see, I do have a finished object. Okay, so this lovely sweater is the Hogwarts of History sweater, and it is a pattern by Regan, who is Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits. This is my first colorwork anything. Oh, no. This is my first colorwork sweater. I did do one pair of colorwork socks before. So this is my second colorwork anything. And I am so proud of myself. What even are words right now? But I did it short sleeved because Florida, and the yarn that I used is Loops and Threads Wool-like. It is a fingering weight yarn that is 85% acrylic and 15% nylon, in the color golden yellow, I believe, and black. I use out one complete ball of the yellow and then just a little bit of the second one, and not even half of the black ball. So I will stand up so that you can see the whole sweater. Oh, I cannot even contain myself. Look at it. I am seriously restraining myself right now, just trying to like keep it in, keep it in. But yes, I don't know how long it took me to knit this sweater. Let me see if I kept notes. And oh, okay, I started it on August 10th and I finished it this past Saturday, which was the 31st. Wow, I knit a fingering weight sweater in 21 days, 3 weeks. What in the actual heck? This was definitely a mix of a product knit and a process knit. So the process was really good in learning how to do the color work, how to hold the yarn and everything like that. And of course, I just really wanted the product, because how dope is this? I'm sure I mentioned this before, but I told Lamar that I really want to go to Universal Studios so that I can go to the Wizarding World and take pictures in my Harry Potter sweater at the Wizarding World. Because where else would I take pictures of this sweater? Where else? Yay! I really like the fit. It's not hot. This yarn is very, very light. When I first finished it, I was a little bit nervous about how the color work around the bottom by the bottom ribbing was going to like lay compared to the rest of the sweater. And this is not blocked. I didn't seam block this or anything. I just put it on because I was excited. But I don't think that there's like any problem. Like you can see a little bit of like pooch here in the sweater, but you know, just smooth it out and you're good. I didn't do any shaping, so it goes straight down from the armholes. So after you split for the sleeves, I just went straight down. Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so stinking proud of this. All right, I'm gonna stop like gushing over my sweater. So I do have another finished object, and this is a finished object that you guys haven't, or this is a project that you guys haven't seen in a really long time, because I stopped working on it when I started this. Yeah, I think I started this sweater and I put these socks down, and then when I finished the sweater, I picked them back up and just motored through and finished them. So we have the Brothers Not Twins. Oop. I'll let you see it first. This is the Brothers Not Twins sock pattern by Diane. She's also known as Mrs. U Makes. So this is the first sock that I did. I did the cable pattern on the leg, and then I was going to continue with just the ribbing. So removing all of the cables and just doing the knits and purls. I was going to do that down the foot, and then I got bored after this much and decided to do stockinette. I also did the ribbing down the back of the heel because I was feeling fancy. I did none of that on this one. I just did the cables on the leg and then stockinette for the rest of it. I haven't woven in my ends because that's the life I live. I wove in the ends on this though. I just like throw that out there. What else was I going to say about this? I did all of these cables with a cable needle, just because I found that that was faster with doing the different types of cables. Also, this original pattern, it's called Brothers Not Twins because the cable pattern for each sock is supposed to be different. So there's the James cable pattern and then the John cable pattern. And I think I did James. Let's see. Yes, I did the James pattern on both of them. So this pattern has the 2 cable patterns. So you can do like the mismatched socks like she intends you to do, or you can be like me and just do a matching pair of socks, and then later on I can do a second matching pair of socks from the John pattern. The yarn that I used for this, I want to say is JoJo Land Melody, I believe it's superwash. I don't remember any of the details. I don't have any of the ball bands left. But I really like this colorway because it reminded me of like a spacey kind of color scheme. So, or like a night sky kind of look. Maybe a little bit, but yeah. So I have maybe 20-ish grams left of these were 50-gram cakes. I have like maybe 20-ish grams left in each, roundabouts. So I can do another pair of socks with contrast heels, toes, and cuffs. And I think that's what I'm going to do with it. And I'll probably make those just plain vanilla. This yarn, I feel like the yarn, like the strands of yarn, was a little bit stretchy. It did get a little splitty when I was doing the cables, which is why I resorted to doing them with the cable needle, because when I tried doing them without the cable needle, it was just a mess. So yeah. So here is a close-up of that cable pattern. And as you can see right here, I've got extra pearls because I cast on more stitches than the pattern called for, but it wasn't enough to make like another cable row or something like that. So I just added pearls at the beginning and end of my rows just to balance out the stitches, or the stitch count. Okay, that is that. So the last finished object that I have, I actually did last night. So a couple episodes back, I showed the corner to corner traveling blanket, and I was talking about how I don't know how to do corner to corner. So last night I sat up and I watched the corner to corner tutorial that is done by Moogly. What's her name? Tara of Moogly, Moogly blog. But it was a really good tutorial. It was a really good tutorial. Do you mind? You rude. You. Take it back. That's what I thought. Can you be quiet, please? It was a really good tutorial. Very clear, straight to the point. Those crows are just gonna keep yelling. So rude. How rude. And this is what I was able to do. Dun dun dun! I cornered to cornered! Yay! And so I really appreciated the tutorial, because within the one tutorial she shows you how to work the increases, how to work like straight if you want to do a rectangle instead of doing a square, which is what you would get if you just increased and then decreased. And then she showed you how to work the decreases. I mean, really. She shows you how to do the decreases. So, because I'm Kalisha and I can't just learn something and be like, okay, that's good, I made a graph and I started working on a little corner to corner like design, because I wanted to practice like changing colors and stuff like that, and kind of like get all of the skills right together. So I'll put in a picture, because I didn't bring it out here, but I'll put in a picture of the graph and how far I've gotten along in my graph up here for you to see. So that symbol is the Wawa Aba. It's an Adinkra symbol from West Africa. And I have it tattooed on my wrist, which you can barely see. I need to get it re-inked. Oh gosh, that's so faded. But this symbol is one that represents a person who is strong and tough and who has persevered through hardships. So, yes, I really love that symbol. Man, this tattoo was so dark when I first got it, but I also got it for my 24th birthday. So this is 9 years old? Yeah, 9 years old. It's about that time. But yeah, so that is everything for finished objects. One thing I didn't do in this sweater was the short row shaping to make the front come down lower. Maybe next time I'll try that. On to works in progress. So I only have one working. I'll just show you. So this delightful piece of gray, this is my test crochet of the high-low sweater by Elisabeth Desamour. I am doing the 2X, and I've just been crocheting back and forth on this pattern because I think it's due on the 21st of September. And unfortunately, last night I was crocheting and watching podcasts, as I do, and I started getting a pain right here. So I'm trying to slow down on that. So my original like super lofty goal idea was, oh, you know, I'll do some crocheting on the sweater, I'll do some crocheting on the corner to corner blanket, and kind of go back and forth like that. And then my arm was like, nah bruh, you need to slow down. So even squeezing it like this right in the middle is hurting. So I need to take a crochet break. It makes me a little bit sad. It's like, you know, if you press in your arm and you feel those two, I don't know if those are tendons or ligaments or whatever it is right there, it's like right in between there is where I'm having the pain. So yeah, when I do this you can feel it flexing. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take a crochet break. That makes me a little bit sad, but that is not my only yarny work in progress. So my other one is my yarn bombing for my spinning wheel. I am halfway finished with this. I'm just gonna pull it up here. So I have decided, can you hear me? I have decided to yarn bomb my spinning wheel. So I am halfway through. So there's 6 spokes. There's 6 spokes, and I've gotten 3 on each 3 spokes bombed. And yeah, let's see if I can spin this so that you guys can see. I'm just really excited to have like a rainbow spinning wheel. I feel like that's really, really cool. So let's see how it goes. Yay! And just imagine how great it's going to be when all of them are rainbow. This makes me insanely like happy. I just love it. So yeah, I showed you the pieces last week. I hit myself in the head with a spinning wheel. I showed you the pieces last week. So basically I just tied all of the tails together, and then I'm just gonna cut them off. I'm not weaving in any ends because no. And yeah, that's it, man. I'm excited about this project. One thing though, I don't know if I want to like scoot them forward and then tie them through these little holes, because there's a little hole at the top of each one of the spokes, so I could anchor them there so they wouldn't move around, but I don't think that's really a big deal now that I look at it. But yeah, halfway there on this project. Excited. Okay, that's the last like yarning makery work in progress I have. The last work in progress is a dye experiment. So at the beginning of the year, I was in the backyard and I noticed this bush, and the bush it had a bunch of berries on it. Obviously a weed. Like, this is not a bush that that was intentionally planted behind the house. Obviously it's a weed. But it had all these berries on it, and the vines in the bush were pink. So I went over to it and I smushed one of the berries, and it looked like I had broken a pink ink pen. The pigment was so strong. So of course, the first thing I think is, can I dye yarn with this? Well, first, what is this? Second, can I dye yarn with this? So I did some research, and it turned out that the plant was pokeberry, and you can dye with it. The only thing with pokeberry that I was like understanding from what I was reading and the research I was doing was that it can easily go wrong to where the color will fade like super fast and it won't be that vibrant pink anymore. So I picked all of the berries, like harvested the branches, because I'll put a link to the website I was reading from, but it said to basically take the berries and the branches and use those as your dye material. So I did that, but since I was chicken, I didn't immediately do this dye experiment. And because basically I had gotten maybe this much, like a Ziploc bag this big full of dye stuff, I didn't want to ruin it, because by the time I found this bush, half of it was already dead. So I froze the berries and everything like that, and I just decided to try my hand at it the other day. And yeah, I've got two of them sitting here. So instead of cooking it or doing like the dye and everything, the dye process on the stove, which one of the things that I had read was if you overheat the dye bath, it will kill the color. So I decided to go the solar dyeing route. So I mixed up all of my dye water. I simmered the berries, squished them, well, thawed them, squished them, simmered them, and then poured, I had my skeins of yarn soaking in water with white vinegar. And then I put my 2 skeins of yarn in these glass containers and then poured the dye bath over them, closed it, set it out in the backyard. Now, this is Florida, so I'm sure if I had done this during regular Florida summer, I still would have burnt up this dye bath. I would have overcooked it. But because it's been so rainy and cloudy with Dorian on the horizon, the sun hasn't been so intense. So let me show you what I got. Now, the thing that makes me sad is the fact that typically the color of the water is not the color of your finished piece. Because if it was this color, I would grow pokeberries in my backyard on purpose. I would have a garden of pokeberries, because look at this. And I have 2 of them. They're kind of heavy. I'm gonna put that down. So if I tip, I think these containers leak, but I think that the yarn, actually, you can see how it's leaning up against the container here, and it's like maybe like a bubblegum pink. I think that's what it's gonna come out as, like a bubblegum pink. I'm not sure how to know when it's done. I've had these out in the backyard. I just left them outside. Today's Tuesday. I put them out, I think, Friday. So I assume they're done. After I finish this, I'm gonna take the yarn out, I'm gonna rinse it, and we're gonna see. But I really hope that color sticks. I really, really hope it's gonna stick. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that. Hi friends. So after I recorded yesterday's filming, after I finished filming yesterday, I took my Pokeberry dyed yarn into the kitchen and rinsed it, wound them on my Swift and set them to dry, and y'all, this color. I'm so proud of it. I dyed this with stuff I found in the backyard. I feel like a wizard. So let me show you. I'm just gonna skein it up right quick. And these are dyed on Deborah Norville Serenity sock. So it's like, I don't know, merino, viscose from bamboo, and nylon, I believe. Oh, fact check that. But, oh, it looks so good on camera. Look at it. So this is the Pokeberry dye. The website that I used had like super saturated skeins. And I think it came out this light because I didn't really have a lot of dye stuff. But I have the second skein here. Oh my Lanta! And I'm thinking about using this with the avocado dye yarn that I have in my stash. So I dyed some yarn with avocado a while ago, and it came out kind of like the color of my hand. So it's like it's tan. It's definitely tan, but has a pinkish haze to it. And when you hold it by itself, it looks tan. But when you put it up with this, it looks pink. So I'm thinking about using this one and the avocado dyed yarn in something, and have my natural dyed whatever. Actually, hold on a second. Okay, so I grabbed my avocado dye yarn and also a skein that I have from Dynamics Yarn. And do they want to live together? Do they? They all have the same kind of softness in their color. This was dyed with pomegranate. Yeah, pomegranate skins, avocado skins and pits, and then pokeberry. look, oh my gosh, I think these need to be together. Like main color and then something contrasty with these. But you can see how this is Kalisha colored. And so by itself, you see it looks tan. But when you put it with this one, it brings out the pink haze in it. So I think this wants to be a thing. All right, guys, back to your regularly scheduled Kalisha. That's all my works in progress. I have nothing for stash positions. I actually do have a stash position, and I forgot about it because I put it away. This is my first skein of yarn. Tootie was on the bed. This is my first skein of yarn from the Crochet Cove, and the colorway is Savannah. And this is on her 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon base. It has a 450 yards to 100 grams. And yeah, I really like it. I've been putting it next to other yarn that I have, trying to figure out what this wants to be. But I really like this. It's like a minty seafoam green, but also has some slight variation to it. So it's not completely solid. And I feel like you can't even really see the color variations in there. But yeah, so this is the Crochet Cove. She has just released her second group of fall themed colors. She has this one color called Joy that when I saw, I was like, ugh, yes, all the yes. But I love the rich jewel tone she's got going on for fall, so definitely go check her out. This is another black dyer, and my stash of yarn by Dyers of Color is growing, and it just makes me so happy to look at. Also, I'm coming to you from Wednesday, and Hurricane Dorian has passed our area, so we're good. We're just getting like rain and wind and stuff like that, but not hardly any damage in my area. So it was just kind of like a really, really bad thunderstorm last night. So back to work tomorrow. Well, I'm not scheduled tomorrow. I'll be going back to work on Friday, but the studio opens back up tomorrow. Yeah. I have nothing for maker plans. So I decided that I was going to bring Black Fibers Black Threads back this week. So what I'm going to do for Black Fibers Black Threads is kind of do a revisit of my Make 9. So at the beginning of the year, I chose 9 patterns to do for my Make 9, and I really wanted each one of those patterns to be by a black designer, and I wanted each one to be a6 black designer. I was successful in creating that list, and thus far I've worked through 6 patterns on my Make 9 list. So I am going to share my Make 9 list, and then I have an additional list of some other designers who are designers of color. I wanted to share this list for anyone who is looking for a pattern to do for the BIPOC Make Along. Since I have made, out of my total list, I've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 16 patterns listed. And I don't have any duplicates. Right, I don't have any duplicates. So it just makes me happy to be able to make a long list and not have any duplicates. Or like duplicates meaning multiple patterns by the same designer. So I'm going to give the title of the pattern and put up a picture, either my finished object picture or a picture from the designer's Instagram. All of these designs and designers will be listed in the show notes, which is going to be a whole lot of typing for me, but I am completely okay with that because the more the merrier. So the first 9 are my Black Fibers, Black Threads Make 9, which is what I was calling my Make 9. First, we've got the Belle Plain Beanie by Jeanette Sloan. This was the first pattern that I made from my Make 9. I really, really liked it. I would wear it more now, except for I think I misplaced it. So I do need to make another one and make it deeper because my hair has gotten longer since since I originally made that hat. So I do need to make another one and make it bigger. It was a really pleasurable hat to make. I think making it again is going to be better. Like, it will come out better because I actually know how to seam now. This is a hat pattern that is knit flat, and then you seam it up the back. The next one we have is the Summertime Tee by TL Yarn Crafts. This is the top that I made and I wore for my birthday. Super easy, super quick. As if you are a new viewer, like over the past maybe month, you would have seen the Summertime Tank, which is a version of this same pattern, just a different neckline and different sleeve treatment. But they have the same base stitch pattern. So both of those are really good, really easy patterns. Definitely recommend. Next, we have the Main Star Shawl by Lady Wing Designs, who is Zakiya Robertson. This is a pattern that it's a very simple shawl. And the idea behind this shawl is to show off that single skein of sock yarn that you are just like loving and you want it to be the main star. I made mine out of the first hand spun yarn I ever had, which was some yarn that I got from Jade of So Perfect Pearls. She had shown this yarn on a podcast and was commenting how she didn't like the color, and so I reached out to her to see if she wanted to do a swap, and she did. So I was able to work with my first hand spun, which I thought was really, really beautiful. Side note, I wore it to church and one of my friend's daughter definitely tried to steal it off of me. So then I had to make her a shawl. I mean, who am I to say no to the kids? Next is the Susanna Racerback. That is a pattern by Desamour Designs, who is Elisabeth Desamour. And it is a racerback tank top. I feel like I wore mine in the last episode. I think I did. I wore mine in the last episode. It was very simple. This was definitely one of those patterns that when the designer tells you that this number of stitches is going to work for this size, you just believe them. You should just believe them, especially if you make gauge. Next, we have the Raspberry Cabled Beanie, which is a pattern by Bigger Than Life Knits, who is Noma Ndlovu. Did I ever show you guys my finished raspberry beanie? Raspberry Cable Beanie? I don't know if I ever showed it to you finished, but I did finish it, and it is too small for my hair. I have to make mine deeper, or longer. The length that it's at, if I have a fresh twist and my hair is laying flat to my head, I can wear it like a regular beanie. But because I have so much hair and I don't always rock a fresh twist, I need more space. So I did get yarn to make a second version of this beanie. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, so like bigger around this way. Actually, what I think I'm gonna do is do the ribbing at the size that she calls for, and then do a rapid increase, and so that the body of the hat is bigger and then make it longer. That way I'll be able to smoosh all of my hair in there and we'll be good. That's what I'm gonna do. But what I'm gonna do with the one that I finished, I'm gonna send it to my brother. I sent him a picture. I said, do you want this hat? And he's like, yes! So that means I need to make another hat for my other brother, because I cannot send a handmade hat to one brother and not the other. Must be balanced. And then the last one that I have of my Make 9 that I have completed are my Brothers Not Twins, which are the socks that you saw earlier. And that is a pattern by Diane, who is Mrs. U Makes. The last 3 patterns on my Make 9 are 3 that I have not started. I feel like these are the more involved ones. So I've got Milu, which is a shawl pattern by Tammy Gore. That one does include some color work. So now that I've done this, I feel like, you know, I can do color work. That's fine. Next is the Tillingbourne Beret, which is a pattern by Jimmy Knits, who is Jimenez Joseph. This beret is, when I looked at it, it's got a what is that shape called? Spiral. The shape is called a spiral. It's got a spiral stitch pattern going around it. And when I put this on my Make 9, I didn't realize that all of those stitches were single stitch twists or cables. So now that I have learned how to do the cabling without a cable needle, I'm much more confident in jumping into this particular pattern. I also figure with this one is another one that I'm going to make deeper. So since it's a beret, typically berets they kind of go flat out like this and then make a quick turn and then decrease in. So I think I'm going to go like flat out like this and then come up like this and then do the decrease, just so that there's more hair room. And the last one on my Make 9 list as it is right now are the Spiny Socks by Disturbing the Fleece, who is Fatima Hines. This is a DK weight sock pattern, and I haven't started these yet because I don't know if I want to do DK weight. I think because I don't know if I'd be able to wear DK weight socks in Florida. And I love wearing my hand knit socks all the time. So I'm gonna have to do some swatching, like checking the gauge and seeing how many stitches I'm gonna have to, or how to adjust the pattern to be the stitch count that I want it to be on fingering weight. So a little bit of extra work with that one, but it's good. So that's everything for my Make 9. Now I have some additional BIPOC designers that I wanted to highlight. These are some patterns I have done, some are in my like to-do list, and yeah, those are the only 2 places it could be. Either I've done it already or I've seen it and I want to do it and I have it in my library so that whenever I'm ready to go I can do it. First we have shawl, which is a shawl by Dawn Henderson, who is Dawn.Landix on Instagram. I did that shawl. That's the one that really got me like going with the cabling without a cable needle like pretty well. So that was good. The next one is the Prairie Wind Shawl by Jaya Lakshmi. That's the shawl that I did for our dating anniversary shawl. I was so proud of myself after this one. It's got a beautiful lace border and a beaded bind off. So lace knitting and beaded bind off, things I hadn't done before, or things I hadn't done a lot of before. So that was pretty cool. And Alright, so those are the only 2 designs of this next list that I have done. All the rest of them are patterns that are like on the horizon. So I guess these would be maker plans, but not immediate maker plans. There's the Las Nubes top, or Las Nubes blouse by Elisabeth, who's also Crochet Cakes. This blouse it's crochet lace at the bottom, and then of course solid going up, and I believe it's a bottom up pattern and has raglan shaping. And she was talking about how proud she was of herself for like reverse engineering that raglan, which is really, really cool. So I've already pulled my yarn out for that. This is actually the pattern that I wanted to be crocheting on when I was in jury duty last week, but as you all know, I wasn't able to do so. The next is the Encanto wrap by Claudia of Crochet Luna, and this pattern is one that she just released it on the 1st, so it is currently on sale for 20% off. So if you're looking for a wrap pattern, it's really long. From the pictures, it looks to be about maybe that wide, so maybe a 1.5 ish wide. These are all estimates. It uses 2 different colorways, or however many colorways you want, and there is like, it looks like mesh work, like mesh crochet work, and then a more solid band in the middle. So I'm really interested to get started on that at some time in the near future, because it looks like it uses treble crochets, which are a stitch that I don't normally use, and that's treble crochet US, and I think in the UK they're double trebles. Yes, double trebles in the UK. Next, we have the Ibukun striped sweater handmade by Kunbi. And this sweater, it's a knit sweater. It looks like your basic, well-fitted sweater pattern. So now that I have gotten myself in the like adult sweating, this isn't adult sweating, but the adult sweater knitting sphere, I've stepped into that space. I feel like the Ibukun is going to be moving its way up the ranks really quickly. Next, we've got a hat pattern, which is the Garden State hat, and that's a pattern by Chanel Wu, who is Piper Now here and on Instagram. This pattern has a lace panel in it that I thought was really cool. Of course, being a Florida girl with a lot of hair, whenever I look at hats to wear, I'm always thinking, is that gonna make me hotter? So I really liked that lace ventilation. So I am going to be making that at some point in the near future. And lastly, a sock pattern called Yanagi. And this is a pattern by Maiko Hikosaka. And it is another pattern that is really simple. It's simple and beautiful. In that you don't have to do a whole lot to make a really classically beautiful piece. So I am going to have to do a couple vanilla socks before I jump into that one, but it's definitely I think a classic design that is going to be really beautiful to have. And I might do it in like a white yarn, like a natural yarn, natural color yarn. I think that will look really, really nice. So yeah, that's my whole list of my Black Fibers, Black Threads Make 9, as well as additional BIPOC designers. So I definitely suggest you check out all of these makers, check out their patterns, support them. One thing that I've heard a lot of people saying is like, oh, you know, buy from a BIPOC designer, buy their patterns, Yes, buy our patterns, but also make the patterns. Make them too. So, yeah. I'm excited to finish this obligation knitting, so my test knitting, this obligation crocheting. So my test crochet as well as that blanket, but of course I do have to give my arm a rest so that I do not injure myself and not be able to do anything. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe cast on a knitted project so I get a different action or a different motion from my arms. Or I might even just put the yarn down for a while and do some reading. We're gonna traipse into, oh, there's a loose dog. There's a real loose dog. Whose dog is this? Hey! This dog legit came running down the street, and there's no people running after him. Oh Lord. One moment. Ugh. So, evidently this was a dog that lives down the street and around the corner. And yeah. Oh, hi Toot. Oh, you gonna come give me the sniff down? Come here. I smell like another dog.
Come on, Snilly.
See if you can see her smelling my hands. Who you been holding? Smell all up your arm. Dang, Toot, really? You smell it under my fingernails? I cut my fingernails.
Sister.
Oh.
Come on, Tootie.
Toot off. Oh, Toot's like, no. Her lap smells like another dog. Her sweater smells like another dog. Who have you been holding? Off, Toot. Come here, Kiva.
Come on, Toot.
Ooh, good jump, Kiva. You want to sniff me down too? Tip it down. No, you have to tilt it with the thing or you're going to knock the whole thing out. Dude, you're pulling my sweater. We're trying to show you the epic sniff down that I'm getting. This is what happens when your dog is a beagle. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. I am in all the troubles.
The dog was in your lap.
Well, he came up this way, and so I picked him up to carry him back over there. Because he came running around the corner, and I thought that, you know, somebody was walking a dog and he got loose. So I'm assuming a human is going to come running around the corner shortly after. Nothing happened. So I was like, so I picked him up. Well, I lured him over. It's Lamar. I lured him over with my, oh, come here. Aren't you the cutest boy? Come here. Tootie said, you had boys over here? You had boys?
Don't you know what time it is?
Come back here.
All right, come on.
Oh, y'all stink. Go in the house.
So you have to reach.
How y'all stink up the outside?
Come on, girls.
Bye. Okay, bye.
Come on, you at home.
Just got the sniff down. That's what happens whenever I go anywhere and there's another dog. Especially if I'm so bold as to pet the other dog. Ugh. Ugh. How dare I? So yeah. My neighbors came around the corner shortly after that. And they were like, oh, that's Turbo. He belongs to the people down the street. So they got an extra leash and walked him home. So Turbo is now safely back with his family. Yeah, so before that whole adventure, I was telling you how I've gotten back into reading the Harry Potter series. I'm on Harry Potter and the I cannot say this title. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I think I'm like 15 chapters in. I was up until like 3 in the morning reading. Yeah. It's getting good, guys. So I'm actually really excited that I can't really remember what happened in the movie. So this is almost a clean slate. Like, I'm remembering little bits and things, but pretty much I'm a blank slate with this particular story. So I've been reading that. Yeah, that's about it. Doing some making, doing some sewing. I am trying my best to have these bags for suicide awareness up in the shop. I want to have them up Friday. Thanks, babe. Ice water. I want to have them up Friday, but that's probably not going to happen, considering Friday is the only day that I can go to the library and use the embroidery machines. So I'm probably going to get them up in the shop at some point next week. But as soon as I get them finished, they're going right up in the shop regardless of whatever day it is. I'm not going to wait to have like an update. I'm really excited about these bags. So they are jean, like blue jean on the outside. I have a couple different shades of blue jean material. So there's some that are darker blue, mid-tone blue, and some light blue. And I'm going to have a total of 18 bags going up in the shop. And I split them into 3 sets. So 6 bags will have Refuse to Sink, 6 bags will have Keep Moving Forward, and 6 bags will have I Am Enough embroidered on the front. Like I said last week, these bags are my contribution, I guess, to Suicide Awareness Month, which is September. And what I plan to do with the money from these bags, I'm going to be donating 40% of what I get for the bags to the organization To Write Love on Her Arms. I will also link them down below so you can see what they're doing for suicide awareness and prevention, and also what they do all year round. They're a really inspiring organization, and I'm so glad that I came across them. Someone asked me on Instagram how much the bags will cost. They are going to be $30, and that's US. I say that because I'm playing around with the idea of opening these bags to international purchase. So if someone overseas wants one of these suicide awareness bags, they would have the opportunity to purchase one. The only thing with me doing international shipping is that I can't buy that postage from the self-service kiosk, which is what I normally do for my postage. I would have to go to the post office during regular business hours, which can be a little bit tricky with me and Lamar being in one car. So I'm playing around with that idea. I think I'm gonna do it. If I do decide to do it and you're overseas, definitely take a look at the shop. There's always a link down below, and if it says that it ships overseas, then I did the international shipping. But yeah, I'm really excited about these bags. So I kind of got off track in the middle of that description of the bags, but they're going to be blue jean on the outside with the embroidered encouraging saying on the front, and then on the inside they're all different patterns of yellow fabric. So yellow is the color for suicide awareness, not orange, which is what I said last week, but yellow is the color for suicide awareness. And so I went and I picked out all of these different colors of yellow fabric, and I am going to be, or I've lined the bags with those fabrics. So the outside will all look the same, but the inside, there are one of a kind, each one of the bags. I think there's only 2 fabrics that have 2 bags, like with the same color fabric on the inside, but they have different color zippers. So all of these bags are going to be, actually, the ones that have the same fabric on the inside have different sayings on the outside, so they're still one of a kind. The only thing that I kind of laughed at myself about this whole project is I didn't make a bag for myself. Way to go, Kalisha. But yeah, I'm so excited about this project. I'm so excited about the idea of being able to donate to an organization that I really admire, and that I have seen do positive work in the world. And I'm glad that because I kind of stepped outside of my comfort zone and started this podcast 3 years ago, I'm at a place where I'm able to create products and share with you guys that allows me to be able to donate to organizations like this. So thank you all so much for being a part of this whole crafty journey that I have been on, and I can't wait to see how Quirky Monday continues to grow. I can't wait to see where this takes us. And with that, there are storm clouds over there, so it looks like we're gonna get another bout of rain. This breeze feels great though, like really good. So yes, thank you so much for being a part of my universe. Please leave a comment down below with positive moments, bright spots, good things that have happened to you, so that we can all share in that positivity. If you are a winner of one of the 3rd birthday prizes, definitely get in touch with me. If it's a physical prize, I need your name and your address. If it is a pattern prize, I've already gotten in touch with you on Ravelry. If y'all have any questions, or if there's something that you want to see on the podcast, hit me up. Leave a comment down below. So again, thank you so much for being a part of my universe. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye guys.